Welcome to Crackers Milk. This is your host, David. I'm joined by Jake and Mike today for our second season. Jacob has our synopsis for our movie.
Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
Can we all agree that's a stupid name?
Yes.
But, yeah. All right.
Especially in that movie. There's no attack, right?
Yeah.
Dang it.
We'll get to it.
Dumb. Yeah.
Set 10 years after the events of the Phantom Menace, the Republic continues to be mired in strife and chaos. A separatist movement encompassing hundreds of planets and powerful corporate alliances poses new threats to the galaxy that even the Jedi cannot stem. These moves, long planned by an as yet unrevealed and powerful force, lead to the beginning of the Clone Wars and the beginning of the end of the Republic.
Huh.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's interesting.
And a hokey love story throughout.
Oh my gosh. I read that thing. Oh, I got it. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of interesting, that wording where it talks about corporations.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of interesting.
That's what the Trade Federation is.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of interesting with the political climate now, and they talk about it, where George Lucas has expressed what he thinks of the first 3 episodes of things. It's just interesting to me.
And he doesn't like The Force Awakens.
Yes, George Lucas, good job. Anyways, okay, 2002.
Top 10.
Top 10. Number 1 was Lord of the Ring: Two Towers.
Yeah.
At 926 mil. And then Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, Harry Potter!
God, stupid.
That season's coming, folks. That season is coming.
That is.
We will do it.
Spider-Man.
Did you hear the news on Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With him coming back.
Yeah.
Number 4 was Star Wars: Attack of the Clones at 649.3 million. And then 5 was Men in Black 2. 6 was Die Another Day, James Bond. 7 was Signs. Signs came out after Sixth Sense?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. 8 was Ice Age. Number 1, not 10 or whatever it's at now.
12. It's not Land Before Time.
It's not Land Before Time. Land Before Time 20. Littlefoot's now an adult.
Then 9, my Big Fat Greek Wedding. And then 10, Minority Report with Tom Cruise with 358.3 million of gross.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first time Star Wars wasn't in the top spot.
Well, I thought those were pretty good movies.
Yeah.
I think I can understand why.
Well, time out. Spider-Man, Lord of the Rings, yes. Chamber of Secrets, no.
What are you talking about?
It's a terrible movie.
It's an awesome movie.
It's one of the 2 worst movies in the series.
I mean, Die Another Day is on that list.
Yeah.
And that quite possibly is the worst James Bond movie ever made.
Harry Potter, the only reason it's number 2 is because Lord of the Rings is better, but Harry Potter 2 is because of stupid fan people like me.
That tells you something, that I like Moonraker more than I like Die Another Day.
Moonraker.
Okay.
All right.
Michael, you have our money.
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 So good. All right. Attack of the Clones, right? That's what we're on?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah. So many Star Wars movies. Sounds like Harry Potter. All right. Here we go. So once again, we'll talk about the amount that time to 2019 times. So now it's starting to
even out or look
the gap
similar?
Is coming together.
Yeah.
So the budget was $115 million or $164 million.
Wow.
The opening weekend, they got $80 million or $114 million. The gross total in the United States was $310 million or $443 million. And worldwide total, $649 million or $926 million. So, with the budget of $115 million and the profit of $649 million, they only got 565% profit. Getting
It was the hokey love story.
I don't understand. Okay, at some point Disney, but we all know that Disney buys this.
Yeah.
They see the diminishing returns of this whole series. Why would you buy it for $4 billion?
See, and that's why I think there's something we're not seeing. I think there's the sales.
The sales.
We're seeing DVD sales, maybe.
But what about merchandise too?
Merchandise,
Because
yes.
Merchandise.
Yeah, merchandise is a big thing.
that not the dumb Spaceballs. Like they totally like make fun of that part of like Star Wars because it's like, oh yeah, come buy this. Yeah.
I'm going to put a picture of something on a throw pillow and people will buy it for $35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found that. So, anyways, I want to talk about what I found when I was looking through a house. There was a hoarder that I cleaned out. I want to talk to you about the interesting fact on that one of what I found with this merchandising thing when we get to our interesting facts today.
Sweet.
Okay.
Well, let's go there now.
Yes. Okay. Attack of the Clones interesting facts.
Yeah. Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Better movie.
Episode 2.
A better movie than The Phantom Menace. Problems, Dave?
I find that really boring. I find this one really like the hardest one to watch.
Oh, it's boring.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
I'm so glad.
Wait a minute.
I'm so glad.
Well,
But The Phantom Menace is boring.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I just admit, watching it, and I could have been just tired, but I got like 40 minutes into it, fell asleep. Sheena's like, it's over. I was like, oh, crud, I have to rewatch it. I don't know why.
I watched this movie like, I don't have it, but I have 1 and 3. I watched this movie, it was on cable, and I was like, okay, I gotta watch Attack of the Clones because I don't have it. I was watching it, and I was like, this is so annoying. I want to change the channel so much because I don't want to watch this movie.
So, the parts that make it more redeemable for me is Obi-Wan's fight with the Fett character on the landing pad in the rain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is awesome.
Yeah.
And the final battle, if you will, is pretty dang cool when all the Jedi pop out and they're fighting all those droids.
And this is where the lightsaber of Samuel L. Jackson was revealed, right? Where it became purple. I want to say.
Did he?
Because he didn't reveal it in the first one. I don't remember seeing it in the first one.
I don't remember seeing it in the first one, and I just watched The Phantom Menace like a couple nights ago.
Yeah. I don't see... Because there was no lightsaber fight in one besides Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then I know that he convinced George to do purple.
Yeah.
I've never read the reasoning behind that, but
how come the Sith don't get like orange or yellow?
Is it because it's so ingrained that red is evil?
Yeah.
Like kind of like it brings the Hitler stuff. Like everything is red in that, and everything's evil in that.
Yeah.
You know.
Found out the reason they went from because it wasn't blue, and it went to green.
Yeah.
I found out the reason they went to green. It was because the sky behind a blue lightsaber when they're fighting, it wasn't distinguishable.
Oh.
So it was because that's why they changed it to green.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
So that's why they would...
That's why they went from blue to green.
Well, a little interesting fact for Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. Yep. And that's why they used it.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Why?
There you go.
Why is so? All of them are green, right? Except Samuel L. Jackson's. His is purple.
No, Obi-Wan Kenobi's is blue.
Yeah.
And
Attack of the Clones is blue.
No,
Right?
in all of them.
In all of them?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was
So
blue in all of them.
in episode 4, New Hope,
Yeah.
when he fights Vader.
Yeah.
Episode 1, episode 2, episode 3.
So, yeah.
Possibly in the final battle, he gets tossed a green lightsaber, but his own
His is blue.
is blue. So, yeah. The hokey love story in this, the wooden acting.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Hayden Christensen because everybody blames him for that, but he was just acting the way George Lucas directed him to.
Yeah. So Roger Ebert gave this thing a 2 stars,
Oh,
which is
down
appropriately
a little bit.
Down a little bit. And he said this about the dialogue
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And he says, at times it simply shows that what they have to say is bland. You know, Natalie Portman and all that.
Yeah.
It's all bland. Banal. I have no idea what banal is.
I have no idea.
Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, is a technological exercise that lacks juice and delight. The title is more appropriate than it should be. It's like, oh,
Oh, that's burn.
wow. Very clonish, very like robotic with Hayden and Natalie Portman. Not great. And it didn't show
I
her
don't
in
like
a great
sand.
light. Yeah.
It's coarse, it's gritty. Gets everywhere.
And then he says, not like here. Here, everything is smooth. Soft and smooth.
Yeah, and
It's like, what?
go watch
Weirdo.
the original trilogy. How often did they change outfits?
Not very often.
Yeah. Natalie Portman had a new dress in
Every scene.
every scene.
Yeah.
And I just have to say, she is one good-looking lady, but
You know what? At the time of
you could tell it was the
movies,
90s because she wore a lot of dresses with her midriffs.
at the time, I thought Natalie Portman was pretty, but then I watched. Then as I have gotten older,
Yeah.
like every time I watch like 3, oh, she drives me nuts. Or anytime I watch her now, drives me crazy because she whines, like how she cries. It bugs me too. I'm like, oh, can you hear Natalie Portman cry? She sucks at crying. She's a whiner. You know, it's just
Yeah. Well-
V for Vendetta. She's just terrible. But that's
I disagree, but
the whining part, the crying part bugs me. Okay, that's the only thing that really bugs me.
so Hayden Christensen, I feel bad.
Yeah.
Why do I feel bad for these actors who played Anakin Skywalker? David Prowse, all he was a guy in a suit. All his lines were covered over by somebody else.
The best Darth Vader is James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones is Darth Vader.
Nothing, but see, I think that you feel bad for them because they have to live up to the billion of James Earl Jones. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing: George ruined Hayden Christensen.
Why do you say that?
He,
I'm just wondering.
Hayden Christensen's come out and said, "This is how George Lucas told me to act,"
Yeah.
and I don't think Hayden Christensen thought, "Hey, I should change these lines like Mark Hamill and
But
Harrison Ford did."
also Hayden Christensen, he wasn't as old as those guys, right?
This was his big break.
So I can see why he wouldn't.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, like, dude, man, when you know, like, it's like, no, man, you can't say that.
Yeah.
And also the weight of it, the weight of Star Wars, him being an iconic a supposed iconic character
Yeah.
of Anakin Skywalker who becomes Darth Vader.
Yeah. Wore a lot of brown in this.
What would brown indicate?
So it's just a darker shade then, because the way in the original trilogy it was white, gray, black.
Yeah.
In the prequels, it's white, brown, black.
Oh.
And the sequels,
Yeah.
it's been white, gray, and it looks like she's going to go back to white.
Yep.
Huh. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. And then with, I think we've talked this about off the air with it, but the political stuff, the infighting and all that stuff. You guys were talking about how Palpatine was masterful, but do you think it showed a little bit more in this one, or did it just be like, it's okay?
They manipulated Jar Jar Binks into giving
Palpatine
more power.
Well, Palpatine manipulated, right?
And the blue alien guy, who was his right-hand man.
Yeah. Because they talked about, and then
Not his
Jar Jar.
apprentices,
But his right-hand man.
but his right-hand man.
His, not Sith time.
Yeah.
But that was in this one that he did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
When if only Senator Amidala was here, she would be brave enough to put this before. And what did she tell Jar Jar before she left? Just do what I would do.
She wouldn't have done it, though.
Exactly, but
Jar Jar
believed. Or he's a Sith Lord.
I believe he's probably more of a Sith Lord than what
But
we
that's
give him
not
credit
canon.
for.
That's just a fan theory.
But if fan theory is well written, it could be. I mean, if that theory is well written, it could be brought into his canon. I'm just saying, it could. I don't think it will be.
It hasn't been. It's been floating around for a while.
Well, and George has no power over it anyway, so he can't...
Anymore.
He can't say, well, this is...
Do you know how
canon.
long this has been floating around?
Probably a long time.
Mm-hmm. When did this movie come out?
2002.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that's
Yeah.
so long ago.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was 10 years after. Why didn't they do it like almost right after? I don't understand that. Is it just to get because Palpatine?
Because he had Jake Lloyd play Anakin Skywalker in the first one. So he had to have an older guy play, so there had to be a time lapse.
Thank you, George Lucas. Thank you. Right?
Let's make the most intimidating villain to ever grace the silver screen be a little kid.
And say, are you an angel?
Are you an angel? I'm a pod racer.
But so you don't like it because this is my take. I liked it that he's a little kid. I liked it because that shows that anybody's screwed. You can't. What are we gonna do when any bad person? They were a child, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. That lets me understand that anyone's susceptible to the dark side. Even a cute, sweet angel who doesn't want his mom die or anyone else to die.
But at the same time, so one thing back to Phantom Menace, because we talked about it, is, a lesson that I learned before I went on, when I left on my mission, was his thing of looking back, and that was his problem.
Yep.
Resentment, remorse,
Yep.
all of that stuff. That was the problem, and that's what Yoda pointed out. That's what Qui-Gon pointed out to Qui-Gon, and Qui-Gon's like, no, I'm not going to pay attention to you at all. But he needed to pay attention. Did Anakin bring balance to the Force? Yes, but it was because he had twins who brought balance to the Force, not him.
No. We'll talk about that in episode 3.
Okay. But anyways, it like to me that's like when I went on my mission, I thought, don't look back. You don't look back. You just go forward. It doesn't matter. You just go forward. And every time that I've looked back at something, you just messing yourself up a lot of times. You are messing yourself up.
You trip because you can't see what's coming ahead.
Yeah. And so I think with Anakin, because he did look back, he worried.
Right.
He had the dream sequence in Attack of the Clones.
Yep.
Then he goes back, and then he chooses revenge. So to me, it was really like he shouldn't have left. He couldn't have left in Phantom Menace. He shouldn't have left.
Yep.
They should have been like, oh, well, let's bring you, but let's not make you a Jedi. Let's just take that counsel. Enjoy Padme. Hello. Enjoy her, right? Enjoy.
Go live on Naboo,
Yeah.
which should have been Alderaan. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
but plot hole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does Darth Vader's brother, who worked with C-3PO for a while, not recognize
C-3PO.
the call sign C-3PO when he buys him again from the Jawas in Episode 4? Because there was C-3PO working the moisture farm.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's why
question.
you don't introduce him in that at all.
It was total fan service.
Yeah, which is dumb.
He had that written down as
But
one of his points, is that Anakin Skywalker makes C-3PO. But don't put that in. Don't put R2-D2 in here.
No. I think you could have put him in where he was introduced to somebody that wouldn't understand. Like, he just was there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I maybe like to Organa or Yoda or another Jedi Master that he had 3PO. He had all of them. Like,
exactly.
Where it's like, hey, fans, here's a nugget, but I'm not going to put them a big plot into this movie.
Yeah.
Like they were.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have a skin, and then he did say that line in Phantom Menace, I'm not ever going to be in one of those starships ever.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Weirdo.
I don't like flying.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you know?
You're a robot.
You're a robot.
How old is Amidala, anyways, in this movie? She was young, but she wasn't young.
So, she was supposed to be 14 in Episode 1.
Okay.
So
she would have been like a few years older than Anakin.
So she's 24 in
Attack
of the Clones, and he's 19. So that's not that big of an age
That's
difference.
not a big deal. Huh. I could see that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But the final battle. What do you think of Lord Dooku? Count Dooku. Christopher Lee.
A great actor.
Great actor.
But why would you choose an apprentice that old?
A little long in the tooth, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't understand. Maybe it's too, like...
and he always plays a villain.
Well, wait, if we're going with George Lucas' brain, older is better. Maybe the Sith were tricked by the Jedi that you have to be really young to learn. And now, well, maybe this guy, he's learned so much, I'm going to choose an old man. I don't know.
But he was Qui-Gon's
Jedi Master.
Yeah.
and so Obi-Wan was his great-grandson in that, grandson.
Yeah.
And then
We get it.
Then Anakin's great-grandson. Terrible bloodline on that one. No, I don't know.
I don't know.
I do enjoy
and Obi-Wan were okay.
I enjoy the family history of reading into, this was, okay.
Yes, this is like I said, it's got better parts than the Phantom Menace. I raise you from a pod racing scene, which is pretty cool, to a fight between Jango Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi in a raining platform on a SeaWorld, which shows how powerful the Mandalorian warriors are.
And that's Jango Fett.
That he could go toe to toe
with a Jedi.
With a Jedi. And I'll get more into that in episode when we talk about episode 3. And then I'll raise you 4 lightsaber blades from episode 1 to 50 lightsaber blades.
With the fight with of the Jedi coming in at the end and fighting.
Yes.
Okay, I get that. I agree with you on that one.
And then another reason why this one's better than the Phantom Menace is we got an awesome the Clone Wars cartoons on the Cartoon Network leading up to episode 3, which I was really excited for episode 3 after all that.
And so I think one of the cliffhangers is them the order of having clones made was given by a Jedi Master. And that to me was like kind of a cliffhanger. It was like, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. How? Was he a bad guy too? Or was he a Jedi who...
It was Dooku.
It was Dooku?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I don't pay attention.
Guy.
So Dooku has always been a bad guy, or he was a secret...
He became, because Jango Fett was recruited by a guy named Tyrannus on wherever, some moon. That is
Dooku's Tyrannus.
Dooku's Sith name is Darth Tyrannus.
So how long was Dooku a Sith Lord?
Exactly.
So I wonder now, because we did talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, he's a little long in the tooth.
Yeah.
But I think the actor is a little long in the tooth, not Dooku. He could have. They should have chosen a. Like, Sean Bean would have been a good one.
Yes.
Would have been a good Dooku.
And then it would have made sense how he died in episode 3. Because if Sean Bean's in the role, he's going to die.
He's going to die. So you have him live in one movie, and then the next one he's died. And that would be a good British actor against in the same age range as Obi-Wan Kenobi, which it feasibly could have happened. Feasibly could have, because they could have put Sean Bean's race as him being older than what he is, right?
Wait. Timothy Dalton.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good too.
What?
He would have been a little bit older, but young at the same time, looking young.
What was the quote when we talked about Flash Gordon? Sorry, last season,
it's
Flash
like,
Gordon.
Something like green eyes,
blue-eyed British Shakespearean actor. But yes, there's other people who could have played Dooku.
Yeah.
Okay, so cliffhanger for me of this is the wedding.
The wedding?
Yeah.
Why would you say that would be your cliffhanger?
Is it going to be found out? Is it going to be because it's forbidden love?
Yeah.
Which I think is stupid because George doesn't understand his own story.
And he's terrible at love
dialogue.
Love dialogue. I think as we
read
pointed out to one, or is it? No, that's in in 3. So
we'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay, and then the key moment.
Yeah.
Is Yoda pulling out his lightsaber, which before that happened, I had written that scene in my head.
Yeah.
And it's so much cooler than in this.
Yeah.
So imagine, if you will, okay.
Okay.
The lights are much darker, and a door opens, and you can't see anything, and then all of a sudden, a small green lightsaber pops up, and you see his glowing eyes, and then he comes charging out.
Like what they did in Rogue One. with Darth Vader. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
That would have been, and then he laid waste to people.
Yeah, and show that he truly is.
Because his fight with Dooku's good.
Yeah.
Is good, but it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how. Like Darth Vader's one was like, oh my gosh, he laid waste, and like that's what you would think that Yoda could do and would do because he would be balancing that out. Like, I'm gonna kill you, dog.
Yeah. 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 And then
Sorry for stealing.
And then what's the last one?
Scene stealer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately for me, it's the hokey love story, but
That's the negative. What do you think is the positive scene stealer in 2? Do you think it's Jango Fett?
It's pretty much Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
Because he is just so spot on with the character.
Yeah. It is a great
He's... I know this might be blasphemy, but he's a better Obi-Wan Kenobi than Sir Alec Guinness.
Well, yeah, you only have like a little bit of show with Alex Guinness. Little bit. And
he was in all three of them.
Yeah. But like, it's not enough to be like, get really, really behind him. And like, in McGregor, yeah, you could get behind the guy because he, to me, yes, he exemplified what Alex Guinness was doing, and he deepened
And expanded the character and made it his own.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, you go.
Do you have one, Mike?
No.
Do you have any?
I just have stuff to add, though.
Okay.
My interesting facts.
Okay.
Sorry, mine are interesting to me.
No, they're interesting.
Okay. So, producer again, same guy. Wow, surprise.
Surprise.
Oh my gosh. The cinematographer, same. Surprise.
Yeah.
Same editor, Ben Burt, and they got rid of the other guy.
Yeah.
And then this was shot all in digital. All digital. And
filmed mainly in front of a green screen.
Or blue screen at the time.
Right. I wanted to do another Ben Burt, the editor, another shout out to him. He is notable for popularizing and creating many of the iconic sound effects heard in the Star Wars film franchise, including the voice of R2-D2. He made the sound of the lightsaber hum. And he made the sound of the blaster guns. And he is the heavy breathing behind the sound of Darth Vader.
Really?
Yeah.
Not...
Sound engineers, that would be a fun job.
Yeah. This job sounds awesome. Anyway. And then, the first camera that...
Who directed this movie?
George Lucas.
George Lucas.
Oh, I thought he only did...
No, he did all three of the prequels.
All three? Oh, I thought he only did one and 4. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Well, I kind of thought the same thing, and then I was like, 2. Oh, 3?
Just look at the name. And it's George Lucas.
George Lucas.
Attack of the Clones!
Attack of the Star Wars. Attack of the Clones.
So, I just wanted to point out that previously I stated all of the films were shot with Arriflex, the camera. 2 and 3 are shot with a Sony camera. But now the current ones that are coming out are back to Arriflex. But 2 and 3 were shot with Sony, because Sony... This is crazy. Sony was coming out with digital, and George Lucas is like, I want to use your camera. So they were like, oh, okay, well, we'll make sure it's ready. Well, he shot everything digitally. He told everyone, this will be the first all-digital movie, blah, 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 blah. The actual first all-digital movie was a French film called Vidocq, and it came out in September 2001, so it came out 6 months before. So he got shown up. Just kind of fun. So it was just nerdy stuff. It was all shot in 24 frames. That's how regular movie cameras is 24 frames. So they made this camera all digital, 24 frames. But I guess it was kind of a hard thing for them to do back in the 90s to come with an all digital. Yeah. So, interesting. Yeah.
I just thought of a new name for this movie. Star Wars Episode 2, The Secret Army.
You know what? That would actually make more sense.
It would.
It
Why
really would.
Why did he call it Attack of the Clones? That doesn't
Because the clones attack at the end.
They do attack at the end, yeah. But they are a secret army.
Yeah.
And 90% of the movie, they're a secret army until that last 10% of the movie.
Yeah.
But
I don't work in Hollywood, and I'm not George Lucas.
So. Well, and then
George Lucas.
Then we get into the whole thing why the movies kind of went bad, because he was all about making toys, and that's a toy maker. Oh, we can make clones. If you put Secret Army, like, how do I brand that?
But at the same time, couldn't you brand that? It is a secret army. You don't know what that secret army is going to be. He knows what the secret army is going to be. He reveals it at the end.
Yeah. But most kids aren't going to be like, hey, Mom, Dad, I want the Secret Army. Oh, you want a G.I. Joe? No, I want the Secret Army. Yeah. Oh, but if you say I want a clone, like, oh, what are you talking about, clone? Star Wars, the clones. Oh, yeah, duh, of course I know that.
Everybody would have known.
Yeah.
Everybody in America knew these movies.
Yep.
Because everybody in America went and saw it and said, this has to be better than the Phantom Menace.
Yes.
And it laid an egg on this one.
A smaller egg.
Still an egg.
Like I said, I enjoyed this one more than the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't know. Honestly, for me, I don't know. Like, I've only watched it once, and they're still 1 and 2 are still tough for me to watch.
Just because you want, Samuel L. Jackson to have his, the same costume that he had in Pulp Fiction, and you want him to use the line, "Use the Force, mother."
No, like Samuel L. Jackson. I like him, but I'm surprised that he got his way into it, because I don't know, like, it's interesting with it.
There's finally a brother in space.
Yeah, I guess they needed to represent that. They needed that represented.
Oh, he's a very good actor.
He is.
Yep.
And it's like, maybe also Star Wars, out of anybody, Star Wars helped him and Harrison Ford probably the most out of anybody. Like, he was
already...
Well, he's a good actor. I'm not saying anything, but it's like, it didn't hurt him that he was in Star Wars.
It didn't hurt him.
It hurt Hayden Christensen that he was in Star Wars. Yeah. It hurt Natalie Portman at a point that she was in Star Wars. And Jake Lloyd, it ruined Jake Lloyd with it.
Kids made fun of him at his school.
Oh, sad.
And Ian McGregor, it didn't hurt him. It didn't hurt Liam Neeson. Yeah. Like, some of them it hurts, but like, doesn't hurt. But some of them, it's just like, the young actors, it just destroys them, I think.
Well, minus one hokey love story.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good movie.
So, for this magazine's cliffhanger, it's former Jedi Count Dooku, leader of Separatist movement, overpowers Obi-Wan and Anakin in a battle, severing Anakin's arm. I don't get why that would be a cliffhanger. How is that a cliffhanger? That doesn't make sense.
What are we gonna do with the? How are we gonna fix his arm? Oh wait, we know how we're gonna fix his arm. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
well, they don't give him the weird skin-like arm like Luke did.
Yeah.
Because it's a robotic arm.
Because it's cheesy at the wedding when the arm comes up. I groaned when I saw that. Yeah, the first time.
And then the key moment is Anakin gives into the dark side of the Force, slaughtering a Tusken community in revenge of his mother's murder. For his mother's murder. I can kind of see that as a key moment, somewhat.
Yeah.
Not totally, but somewhat of a key moment. And then the scene stealer, Obi-Wan Kenobi, in his Jedi Prime. The enduring popularity of the character, never more apparent than in Episode 2, has spawned a spin-off movie now reportedly in development.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
I could see those being scenes. Him.
Yeah. Because everybody who was cast for the prequels, he was the best.
The perfect one, yeah. Mm-hmm. He was the perfect cast. Okay. Tell us what you think with episode 2. What do you think about episode 2? What do you think about Attack of the Clones? In comments. So subscribe, rate, and then leave a comment. Tell us what you think. All right. Have a great day. See ya.